We were living in a 400 square foot basement apartment. It was cold and damp. You know, we were unfortunately the stereotype of the single mom trying to, rob Peter to pay Paul to, support her child, which happened to be me in this case. It's kind of crazy to actually talk about that now. You know, how far we've come, what we went through, and where we are now is just, it's such an incredible blessing. We were both working, and I was going to school. I was in high school at the time, and it was a little bit embarrassing to have to say, to not be able to bring friends home and friends over, people over. I saw the stress in my mom's eyes, and I knew what it was like to see her so upset and so desperately wanting to provide a better life for me. So she always used to say, go to school, get good grades, I'll support you in whatever you want to do, but just make sure you go to school and, you get through it and, you get good grades and this, that, and the other thing. And that was the path that I chose. I chose the advanced placement, Ivy League college route, scholarships and this, that, and the other thing. And my goal with that was, because I was a child of a single parent household, I wanted to provide the absolute best for my mom when it was time for her to retire. I wanted her to retire early and not have to worry about it. So many people now, they have, there's no such thing as a pension really anymore, and there's no real certainty. And I read a statistic online that was something to the effect of, their biggest fear, elderlies, like people over 65 years old, their biggest fear is that their retirement fund will run out before they pass away. And I never wanted my mom to be in that position. It was always my striving force, focus and force with the advanced placement classes, with the Ivy League college, going to school, doing my best, was to provide a better life for her, and so she didn't have to worry anymore, and to provide a better future for my future children. I wanted my future children to never have to know what it was like to feel uncomfortable bringing friends over because, you lived with a relative or you lived in a 400 square foot basement apartment. That was one of my biggest driving forces for success, for this almost seemingly pie in the sky dream lifestyle that I saw people living. I knew that getting a job was just limiting my potential. I wanted a career, I wanted an area, a space to create my own lifestyle. I wanted a place to have the things that I wanted and go the places that I wanted to go with the people I wanted to go there with. I wanted a place where I would be able to come in and write my own paycheck. I wanted to create a life of abundance and help other people do the same. And that actually led me to what I do now, how I help people regain their life of freedom, regain their confidence back, to know that they are in control completely of their future. And that's what I love about this industry, is that I've been able to come in, regardless of my circumstances. I've been able to write my own paycheck, and Mom and I moved out of that 400 square foot basement apartment to a beautiful house 4 times the size of a previous residency. And I want to share with you how I did that. And I want to share with you simple steps that I know that you can use and that anybody can implement in order to start living a life of abundance, living a life of pure joy and bliss. And I want to level the playing fields. Know that anybody can do this. Anybody can do what I'm going to do, and I'm going to teach you how to do that right now. Hey, what's going on, my friend? This is Brianna, and I'm so glad that now I have your attention. Hopefully you had some, insights that my story helped you, understand and just kind of level the playing field and know that this is completely and 100% legitimate, that I live a life of freedom. As you can see, I'm sitting in my house right now, and it's the house that we moved into, my mom and I was able to actually retire her early. She probably won't like me saying her age on camera, but I'm 20 years old. I'm living a life of freedom. You can guess how old she is, but don't tell her I said that, right? Her and I are living this life of freedom, and it's so interesting. People come and they go, they say to us, that we don't leave for work. We live in a suburban area in New England, and in a neighborhood, and people are like, why is it that you don't ever leave for work? What do you do for work? Are you unemployed? What do you do? And we get to say that we're self-employed. We have the ability to write our own paycheck, and it has provided this beautiful life of abundance that we live now. I want to share with you a couple of things that I believe will really benefit you and help you to understand that you can live a life like this too. That it is possible for you to travel wherever you want and go wherever you want with whomever you want to go with. And I realized the biggest thing that I needed to overcome was feeling worthy of the change. It's so easy to get caught up in the minutia of going through your day-to-day life and not really knowing and being okay with the fact that you can change anything you want in your life. All it takes is a decision. Now, what may seem like a big decision is actually a split decision that happens in an instant that anybody can do. You want to stop smoking? Just decide to stop smoking. You want to stop drinking? Just decide to stop drinking. And take the action steps. You want to decide to be wealthy? Just decide to be wealthy. And I know it sounds crazy, but it really is that simple. You want to decide to no longer have to answer to a boss like we did? Just decide to no longer answer to a boss and just be amazed with the abundance that flows into your life. The feeling worthy aspect comes from getting up every day and choosing the little things to do differently. Because if you go back to the same routine that got you to where you are now, you're not going to be any farther in the next 90 days, the next year or so. So the thoughts that you have and the decisions that you make today will change your future. Once you made the decision to change what you want to change in your life, it brings me to number 2, and that is to really think about what your dream lifestyle is. Like, start dreaming. Get any kind of preconceived notions that you're not good enough, that you're not pretty enough, that you're not thin enough, any kind of preconceived notions that you have in your head, just eliminate them right now. This was really fun for me once I eliminated any kind of limiting beliefs that I had. Start thinking about your dream lifestyle. What does it look like? What are you doing? Who are you doing it with? Maybe you have kids now. Maybe you want to have kids in the future. What does it look like to spend time with your children? And once you identify what it is that you want, you realize that you don't need as much money as you think in order to create that lifestyle of freedom and abundance. But I want you to think big. What does it look like? Think about your family. Think about your future. Plan in advance and really get that number, because when we got that number, we were able to work towards it, and just like that, we hit it. We hit our income number and we were able to live free. The question now becomes, what are you willing to do in order to get that lifestyle? Are you willing to work long hours? Are you willing to, invest in your education, invest in your future? Here's the thing, the past is gone. All that have is today and what you see in front of you, what you see in the future, because that's it. And think of your future. What does it look like, and what are you willing to do in order to get there? And when you are free, you get to have and you get to live this abundant lifestyle of just bliss and freedom. And if you want to know exactly what I do, head to my website at workwithbrianna.com and download my free ebook. In this ebook, I lay out everything. How I went from a high school essentially dropout to working in the corporate world to finding my freedom and finding myself, finding my voice, and how I help other people do the exact same thing, and how you can get involved with what we're doing in order to create this massive life of abundance around us. My mom and I, we've been able to travel and live life to the fullest, and it's been because of what I'm going to share with you in my ebook. So head to my website at workwithbrianna.com and I will see you there. Take care, my friend. I hope you receive value from this video. So take care, and I will see you on the inside. This has been Brianna signing out. Mwah.